Morning, my name is Jennifer Havlat, and I'm doing my first reflective journal for course EDAD 762A. I'm going to be focusing on capsule number 1, which is professional development. The first question is, what is the vision for professional development in our district? And who owns the vision? I'm going to start with the last part. I think it's really important to understand that a vision should be a collective vision for all stakeholders in the district. It shouldn't just be staff, it shouldn't just be admin. We should have parent feedback and input. We should have student input and feedback. And I know that our district has done a lot of work with our strategic plan, our LCAP, to make sure that we have a collective district vision. But beyond just those stakeholders, I think it's also really important to have even beyond just our admin, teachers, parents, and students, but our classified staff, not just classified staff that work in classrooms either, but front office staff should understand the vision of the district. I think that custodians should understand the vision of the district. One of my favorite stories when I got my admin credential was that a group of people had gone to NASA to do a tour, and they ran into one of the custodians or janitors in the hallway, and a man asked him what his position was at the NASA facility, and he responded was, "I send people to space," because he is one member of a collective group that should have a shared vision. And I believe that our district has done a really good job of establishing that vision. For professional development, specifically in my department, we are very focused on ensuring that students receive services in the least restrictive environment and that staff is well trained to provide that. And so we've done a lot of work with Dr. Villa and Dr. Thousand in co-teaching. We did a training for both gen ed staff and special education staff in the fall of 2019, and we've done a more recent training again in the summer, fall of 2020 virtually. We've done a lot of work with professional development leading up to this school year because of distance learning and closures. The second question is, what steps have I taken to ensure the shared buy-in regarding this vision? Beyond just having weekly meetings with my teams and making sure that I'm communicating that shared vision with my actions and my words in meetings and my actions and my words working with staff, I've also taken on some roles as a part of that shared vision. So I've been not only attending professional developments that we have provided to classified staff, I've also been collaborating with my team on developing professional developments for community-based instruction that we will be providing. I've also worked with a framework committee to help the shared vision of making sure that we have aligned content standards for our modified programs. I also collaborated with our assistive technology supervisor specialist, Kelly Dunn, who we did a accommodations and modifications and interventions training for all staff district-wide, and that resource is also still available for all of our staff. How am I going to continue to engage in this shared vision? I'm going to continue the work with supporting the modified programs and the framework that we'll be developing not just this year, but next year as well, and refining that process as we go, because not only are we developing a framework, then there's going to have to be some training to our staff that will have to implement that framework. And that's going to be a shift for some of them, hopefully a positive shift. I'm also working with our strategic planning committee, with parents and admin to continue the work that was started before I came to the district in making sure that we are reevaluating the goals that were set at that time and how we're going to keep moving towards inclusion. We have a focus on inclusion in our district, and we have developed access courses to help support that. And I think it's really important with my experience having been a teacher in a modified program for 8 years, and then as a teacher in gen ed for 6 years, to bring that experience to the team to help them see how a meaningful inclusion can be successful. And that's going to require professional development. That's going to require teachers that are not comfortable with that, stepping outside their comfort zone, but feeling supported and having tools and strategies and techniques that they can take to implement that vision that we have for our students with special needs. That is my reflective journal for capsule number 1. Um, and I think it's really important to say that I'm really excited about the vision and the direction that our district is taking, and I look forward to continuing the work.